The top 3 things you're probably missing when you take your NDIS participant to the gym. Hopeful hint, tip, right now. It's not just their towel and water bottle. They may be important. You definitely need them going to the gym, but look, here's a couple of things that might help out a little bit more. Hey guys, I'm Michael Adams. Welcome to Flying Kiwi TV. I hope you're here to find a little bit more information to help out your NDIS participant going to the gym. I know that since the NDIS has rolled out a couple of years back, it's really made a huge difference to the volume of our beautiful special needs athletes attending the gym, which is it's an amazing thing. It really, really is. However, I think one of the gaps that myself and my team have kind of seen over the past kind of year or so is the volume of support workers taking their clients to the gym, but not necessarily having something in place to make the gym workouts really, really worthwhile, and I really hope this here helps. Tip number 1, find something results driven. Obviously, that may seem a little bit simple in terms of the idea, but what we're really looking to try and do here is find something that really tunes in with your client's goals. My recommendation that we normally do with our team is we collaborate alongside the support workers, alongside the parents, and alongside whoever else is going through and helping to create the goals for the client. That even includes our allied health professionals. And then from all those bits of information, we try and tie together something that we can do inside the gym that is purely results driven. For example, a client that might be playing tennis, playing table tennis, swimming, anything along those lines that utilizes the upper body, you might want to start measuring a bench press or a chest press as an example for the results being tracked. May seem simple enough, but what you're actually trying to do here is not just get your client to work towards a goal or something that might help them with their sport or their goal, but actually having something that has a number to it, something that you can take as, here is January 1st, here is the number where we're at, and here is March 1st, here is the number we're at now. Even over the course of the 8 weeks, if it's only a change in 5 to 10 kilos worth of how much they can chest press, worth how much they can bench press, whatever the exercise may be, the fact that you've got a number that you can succinctly say, our deadlift has gone from blah to blah, our bench press has gone from blah to blah. You have something really tangible that you can take back to the parent, to support worker, to whatever networked person you do have in there helping you out with the goals, and say, hey, this is how far we've came. Plus, obviously, the other side of this that's very, very important, and in my mind pretty obvious, is that you're trying to have your clients buy-in. You want to make sure your client feels like they've achieved something when they are attending the gym, that they're not just spinning their wheels, they're actually doing something that makes them feel like they're growing. It builds self-confidence, it builds a sense of achievement. If you can say the number has gone from 1 to 7, it's not just about the number being better, it's actually just that the number is bigger and bigger equals good, or the number is smaller and so smaller equals good. Anything that you can collaborate with your client about and talk to them about their result and how great they are doing, it's going to make huge differences to their growth long term, because they're going to really feel like they're achieving something and that they're moving forward. Makes a massive difference. And the really cool thing about that is that you can take that a little bit further and almost make it a little bit of a game. I can definitely tell you right now that I enjoy personally when I head to the gym and I lift the -3 kilos I lift now, because I don't do any of that anymore. But when I do go to the gym and I'm training hard and I'm alongside my friends, I'm alongside whoever I'm training with at the time, I feel a sense of accomplishment and it motivates me to do more. It makes me want to come back to the gym. It's the exact same for your clients, as I'm sure it's the same for you if you attend the gym yourself, which I would hope you attend the gym too if you're bringing your client to the gym, but that's probably for another video. I'm only through like 1 point. I need some coffee. Oh. Tip 2 is coffee. Not really. Tip 2 is the posterior chain. Now, it's relatively simple. When most people come to the gym, a lot of the time they just focus on things that are anterior or in the front of their body. One of the things that we see really does get missed quite a lot when the average participant comes into the gym and we see them floating around is getting anything that makes their back work. Now, this can be anything from using a seated row, a supported row, pull downs, chin ups, anything of the like. And what this does is it helps balance out all the other muscles anteriorly, all the stuff at the front that gets used way too much during the day and doesn't get balanced back by something in the back. By using all of those posterior muscles, we can start balancing out all the stuff that gets way too much during the day. For example, the anterior muscles that are all involved in things like using an iPad, playing Xbox, reading your phone, playing games on your phone, games while on the toilet on your phone. Actually, these are all about me. But by doing all those exercises, we can start counteracting all those, and hopefully you can start bringing shoulders backwards, you can start bringing chests a little more upright, and our heads can be a little bit more taller, so that when our clients are moving, they're not putting extra strain on their back they don't need to. They can stand up and they can hold a really great posture, which honestly, for the extent of their life, is going to do them the world of good. Just a quick note there, before you go doing any of these exercises without any sort of scope of practice, and by that I mean if you just haven't got very much gym experience, you aren't a qualified PT, anything along those lines, make sure you consult a physio first, or any other health professional that's meant to be helping your client along with their journey and all of their goals. They're going to be your best bet in terms of how their exercise programming should be filtered as it goes forward. As much as plenty of people like to think it, no one knows everything about exercise. So please consult them, because that's exactly what they're there for inside your client's NDIS plan. Alright, and tip number 3. Now this one is a little bit more based on making sure that your client feels comfortable with you. Do something competitive. Now I know that there are plenty of clients out there that are probably not going to really feel that competitive motion at first. If you're new with them, it might be a little hard for you to try and earn that little bit of respect from them, to try and get some sort of friendly competition out of them. But if you can invest in those cheeky little comments or those snide little remarks of, oh, maybe I'm faster than you on the bike, or I reckon I could walk taller than you on the treadmill, suddenly you get that little bit more competitive nature out of your client, and that can be a really, really good thing for them to feel like they can have that little bit of extra willpower, that extra get up and go, to make them go that little bit harder at whatever they're doing. And then, going back to tip 1, you can probably use that as another gauge of their progress. And look, if you're exercising with your client too, look, might be a little bit of your measurement of progress too, but hey, don't exercise too hard when you're at the gym. But the best examples of this would probably be using the bike, the treadmill, the rower, or if you can, even use a med ball. And the great thing about this is it's not only something that's competitive, but it's actually great for their posture too. The upper back has to work that little bit extra hard to make sure that they're standing upright, because they have extra weight sitting on their front that they need to try and correct for. You can walk the laps, or you can get the steps out, or you can use the distance on the treadmill, or you can use the kilometers traveled on the bike, or whatever you'd like to use, as long as there's some sort of number or some sort of speed that you can use as that competitive nature with your client that you can compare notes with, it's going to work brilliantly. And I can tell you right now that having competition works wonders. I mean, we have our Strong Hearts program, which is our group collective kind of social sport program. It allows all of our clientele to come together and play games and sport together. Guess when our guys are the sweatiest? We'll play Red Rover, we'll play basketball, we'll play soccer, running, anything along those lines, and it always ends up being that they'll do 10 extra laps if they're racing one of their friends. I should just add in here really quickly that, look, if you're a competitive person, cool. Make sure you let your client win, please. Well, I mean, you don't have to let them win, but if you can make sure that at least 60% of the time they get ahead of you, that's probably going to be good for them. I'm not a huge fan of letting your client win every single time. That may seem a little counterintuitive, but I think the healthy competition for those that have the good behavioral understandings of, hey, maybe next time I just need to work a little bit harder instead of, having a bit of a tantrum because they've lost or something along those lines. So do gauge your client as you need to, but I definitely think that, a 60-40 split of who wins and who doesn't win really gets that competitive edge out of them because they don't believe they're going to win every single time. They have to work for it. That's what's really going to get that result out of them. And you've made it through all three. So here's number 4. I think the major thing that everyone needs to remember is that when you're attending the gym, it needs to be fun. If you can associate for your NDIS participant that gym equals happy, exercise makes me feel good, you start doing so much more than what that individual gym session of 200 calories burned would do for you. You start carving a pathway of a healthy lifestyle, a health and well-being track that they can go down the rest of their life. I'm sorry, but I don't care if they're paying you in 10 years' time or not to still spend time with them. I care if your NDIS participant has a bad day and instead of them reaching for the nacho chips in the cupboard or ordering Uber Eats McDonald's, that they go back in their memory and they remember, oh, that's right, the gym makes me feel good. When I was going to the gym, it makes me happy. And that bad day, those bad feelings that they were having towards whatever it was in their day can be erased by them attending the gym and doing something healthy. They've now turned what could have been a destructive behavior for their body into something that's constructive, something that's going to help them live a longer life. You're extending their life expectancy by 10, 20 years by getting them to associate the gym with a happy feeling, because the gym doesn't feel like a chore to them anymore. The gym feels like a place of solace. It feels like a place they can go to that they feel good. And funnily enough, going to the gym is pretty darn good for you if you have a basic understanding. You're playing a long game here. Make sure you look after your client. And when they walk out of that gym, those first few times, make sure they walk out with a smile. It will just pay dividends 1,000-fold, not just for you, but for your client as well. You've got to look after them as best you can. Sorry, the coffee probably got to me. But guys, that brings us to the end. I hope this has all helped. As I've said, having something results driven that you can really measure to help feel that self-confidence build, something posterior chain to make sure you're looking after posture, you're going against those things that you do throughout the day that really take a big tanking on your upper back, your lower back, all those sorts of things. Making sure that you're keeping something competitive in there as well, so you can have that little bit of banter with your client. You can make sure that they feel like they've got something to really work for, make sure that they're driving really hard, and obviously making sure that they're having fun. And guys, that brings us to the end. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope that this helps out in some way to help out your NDIS participant. Obviously, over the course of time, you're playing a marathon, not a sprint. Wait, you don't play a marathon, you run it. But you are playing that long game for the participant. That's exactly what we're here for. We want to make sure we make those good positive changes in their lives. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and how we finished all of our Zoom calls over the course of the COVID lockdown. Guys, high five, fist bump, elbows, and headbutt. Have a good one, team.